So I went into the summer showcase thinking probably a 30-minute presentation, maybe some new Arcanas, some new combat stuff, quality of life, and to top it off, a 30-second trailer for Mabo Eternity at the end. Oh boy. I underestimated the Mabo team on this one. The whole presentation was around 2 hours and 30 minutes, and crammed with a lot of additions, updates, features, a 20-plus minute stream of Mabo Eternity gameplay, and new Arcanas. So, I think I need to pull up my britches, because this is a lot of stuff to get through. Let's get into the two new Arcanas, starting with an Alchemy Arcana, translated to Forbidden Alchemy, ooh, edgy, which uses medicine as its support talent, which is the first Arcana to use a non-combat talent. It looks pretty cool. You could throw potions now, which seems like that and all the other skills will involve alchemy mixtures, like what alchemic sharpshooters have. From what I gathered, your resources are alchemy crystals and herbs. It's going to be interesting to see how those mix, as well as herbs as a combat resource, since herbs are largely farmed and not a shop item, as well as a binding ability to pull and hold a target in place, sort of like Shadowbind meets Scythe skills maybe, and this fucking ridiculous Hydra transmutation. Dude, like, imagine 8 forbidden alchemists popping off these big Hydra things in a run. It's madness. And finally, some shotgun-like alchemy blasts, which is probably the main damage skill. The new director, and yes, he is the new director, as the old one got promoted to focus on Eternity. Also announced that the alchemy formula will change, much like Magic recently did. So get ready for that. And immediately after the Alchemy Arcana announcement, we were greeted with the Gunner Arcana, directly translated to Variable Gunner, which uses alchemy as its support talent. Holy mother of God, what the fuck is this goofy ass shit? Fucking mortars? What the and then an RPG? What? This is like a medieval fantasy game, right? Then again, we have like pet cars and shit, so I have no clue what this game is anymore. The Gatling gun is cool. It reminds me of Barrett Wallace from Final Fantasy VII. And Barrett is cool, so this one gets a pass. Especially since it seems like you can control it like a turret and just spray and pray. It's probably a homage to the tower cylinder, if you know what that is. But holy shit, why mortar artillery? And they are like modern M224 US Army issued mortar systems. Come on, get this out of my medieval fantasy game. Don't we have enough of this shit in real life? And a sniper rifle? What? What are we gonna flick on Airson now? Apparently the way this works is Variable Gunner's guns are made of special alchemy water that transforms into different types of weaponry, and alchemy crystals will make up special mono bullets for these guns. Well, there's the Gunner Arcana. It sure is a variable of firearms. I'm sure people will like it. I know a lot of people that like Gunner, so enjoy. It's going to be interesting to see how Koreans react to these when they are in the test servers. I think they look fine. The Alch one seems like a good mix of utility and damage, and the Gunner one looks like it could be good all-around range DPS. Anyways, after the Arcana announcements, a new boss is being added to Brilech, which seems to be a very hard mode version of this dungeon, so that's neato. They also announced dungeon matchmaking with cross-server compatibility, which I have no clue if that will come here since we currently only have one server. I actually don't like this too much, specifically for in-game content, since you need a lot of coordination and trust that everyone knows their roles. But I also think about how matchmaking destroyed a lot of World of Warcraft's social aspects of forming groups and actually talking it out, rather than just auto-filling spots. I mean, this is just my opinion, but like I do understand there's people out there that have difficulties finding groups and stuff. And I do see all the time in-game people advertising spots open for a run, so maybe this will make that more convenient. I'm just saying that World of Warcraft's social constructs took a pretty big hit from this type of system. Again, let me know what you think. Okay, let's get into probably the biggest changes coming to Mabo. Dungeon changes and drops. Regular dungeons like Albi Advanced Hard Mode or Rundle Advanced Hard Mode are now shortened significantly, to the point where the director says it should take about 5 minutes a run with the recommended gear, which I imagine they'll list on like the dungeon voucher stuff. Tech missions are now just 1 difficulty, and the zombie hall is now removed, which is kind of crazy to think about. And both regular dungeons and tech missions do not require passes and have an unlimited number of entries. There's a catch though, so listen up. You must activate a new item called Near in order to have a chance to obtain high-value items like Broken Magic Essence, Weapon Mats, or the new items, which I will talk about in a sec. Near resets daily, incentivizing daily use, and I do not know how many times it can be used daily. You can enter tech missions or a dungeon without Near activated, but either you have a significantly less chance of rare items or no chance. I actually am not sure. Maybe someone could clarify that for us? A new item called All Be Shining Beads drop from I'll Be Advanced Hard Mode, Tex, Crom, Glen, or fragmenting dropped non-tradable items from those dungeons. All Be Shining Beads can be used to create the following items. Nightbringer weapons, a 1 piercing robe, which can't be upgraded, the Fleur Tiara, and a enchant roll increase scroll. All of these are not tradable, by the way. Yeah. On paper, this sounds like a cool idea. We will talk about the Nightbringer weapon thing shortly, though. Crom Bass is now just 2 difficulties, easy and normal, which sounds really goofy to hear. And Castle Defense Hallway is now removed, as well as the director suggesting 10-minute runs with the appropriate gear. So it sounds like Crom Bass is going to get nerfed pretty hard. And now you can solo Glen normal, which is a good idea for people that need to log in, do their shit, and get out. Not sure how it's going to be implemented, though. Okay. This is where we need to buckle in, since this is going to be the new concept for Mabo. Weapons and gears now have grades: Common, Rare, Elite, and Master. Each grade on weapons increases the base damage by a percentage. Common is 10%, Rare is 15%, Epic is 25%, and Master is 30%. Now, here's the big change. You be the judge if you like it or not. I'll Be Advanced Hard Mode, Tech Missions, and Crom now drop weapons and gear. More specifically, I'll Be Advanced Hard Mode drops Celtic weapons and refined armors, old and new ones. Tech Missions drop Perseus weapons and Ultimate Geass gear, and Crom drops Nightbringer weapons. Here's the catch. The weapons and gears that drop are of common quality and are not tradable. You can increase the item's quality by 1 up to master level, and all the Reforges, special upgrades, enchants, etc. transfer to the next tier by some upgrade system that I am not sure how any of that works yet. Okay, now those of you with gear already, if your item was created, it is automatically of master quality. So, if you made a monumental Perseus blade, it's of master quality already. Also, here's an image of the old and new refined armors. I don't think anyone knows the ability strength on the new armors. Now, let's do a flashback to half a year ago. My problem with the new weapons is it takes so many resources to make a weapon already, and players that have invested so much already into what they have now, it's pretty exhausting. I think if this is the new meta of releasing weapons with new content, there needs to be an answer to preserving all of the effort from your previous weapons into a new one. That way, a player can focus more on progression, rather than rebuilding constantly. It's just a thought, but it's pretty validated amongst the community, I believe. It's like they watch my videos, because this is now a reality. I.e., if you have a Perseus blade and you get a Nightbringer Warlord, you can transfer your Reforge, special upgrade, all that stuff to your Nightbringer. We just don't know how the process works yet. The caveat, however, is that the Perseus blade is destroyed in the process. So if you crafted the weapon, you cannot transfer the stuff and then sell. The weapon is just gone. I like the tier system and transfer mechanic. It gives players a chance at good gear from doing content and allows players not to dread losing their hard-earned weapon upgrades. I would just like to know what items are needed to do a transfer or upgrade the quality, because if it's anything like special upgrade or enchant recovery items and how convoluted those items are to make, this system may not be worth it. The director did mention the items needed will be in-game and not an NX thing, so at least we don't need to worry about that. Okay, next big news. This is a lot, I know. Please pause to take a moment if you need. Go get a popsicle or something. Are you ready to hear this? Ranks 2 and 3 Reforge are now removed. Everything is now rank 1 and is guaranteed 3 lines. You have no idea how big of a smile it put on my face to hear that. No, seriously, look. Let me take a photo. This opens up so much of the game for so many, especially for early and mid-game players, since Reforges are somewhat a huge proponent of abilities and damage. With this, basic and journeyman Reforges are being removed from the game, but precise will still be in the game. So we will still have our free options to Reforge. Pretty big news. Okay, on to the next thing. Renowned, Celtic and Divine Signets, the potential system, stats from Crusader special units, and Spirit quest points are all being removed from the game, where Celtic and Divine Signet abilities will just be default, stat bonuses from Potential and Renowned will be included in talent bonuses, and Spirit quest points are just given. The biggest one that's standing out to me is Renowned being cancelled. That stuff was just tedious and annoying to do as a new player. Okay, here's a goofy one. You don't have to rank life skills if you only want to commit to combat-related skills, or vice versa. Which I can't fully comprehend yet, since stat bonuses from Grandmaster are a thing, and Stardust requires both types of skills in order to level it. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what this is all about. It's an interesting concept to get someone doing what they want. Like, I actually hate life skilling in any game, but I know players that are all about it. Personally, I think it sounds sort of bad since it always felt like both life skills and combat skills are part of the whole package. I don't know. It was also a rite of passage to have some annoying life skill ranked 1. Like, I don't know, what do you guys think? I just think it's bad. Anyways, all races now have the same stats from the Shine of Uoka, which narrows the gap between humans, giants, and elves. Okay. And here's an interesting one. Getting hit for damage less than a certain percentage of your max HP, you won't get pushed back, knocked down, or stunned. In other words, it's sort of a passive iron will. My friends are all conflicted on this one. The current way makes you not want to get hit by anything because it stun locks you, which makes you a stationary target for things that actually will hurt you. I don't know. We'll see. Also, the translation is kind of funny because it's like a penis joke. And extra equipment slots will now include Echo Stones. That's a big one for anyone with multiple sets of gear that needs different Echo Stones. Great. I know a lot of players that were begging for that one, so it's a big positive change. Also, the last 5 Echo Stone levels will no longer drop in level when you fail an upgrade, but only up to 5 times, which isn't that impactful. I mean, that whole system is kind of annoying. And the AP cost to reforge an Echo Stone will cost a bit more. They did emphasize that it won't be a lot more though, so we'll see how that goes. And finally, they will have an option to head directly to the end of Seed Fiace, but it will cost gold to upgrade and do rolls. I like to think of this as a gold sink for convenience. The costs I'm not sure of yet though. The next part of the showcase showed off an interaction button. Sort of like if something is close by and you can interact with it, then it shows this little button. I mean, okay, sure. I don't think the game needed it, but okay. I do recall, however, some of my friends trying to play the game for the first time and having difficulties interacting with stuff. So it's probably a pretty good change for someone getting used to the game. Dungeon treasure chests now have special effects. So if you get something from a rare loot table, the box does all this wild shit. All I can think about is everyone seeing you open that box and start shit-talking because you got the good box. Okay, now for some Arcana stuff. Arcana costs only 10 AP now to change, and you can switch on the fly, which I am guessing will be like switching Grandmaster titles. I'm really happy with this. 100 AP to switch was really bad, and it was annoying to go to the Arcana room to change. I'm going to go ahead and assume that you cannot change while in a dungeon, so that would probably be a little bit too broken. Okay, time for some fashion stuff. You can save outfits, face, and hair stuff in presets, as well as your age and size of your character too, it seems. I think a lot of people are going to love this because, well, people love their fashion in this game. There's also a website and an app coming for a dressing room where you can have fun dressing up your character. I can see so many people loving this. It's not really my thing, but it's still pretty cool. Personal shops in towns will have mannequins you can display an outfit on in order to advertise the item, which I think is so cool. It's really going to be interesting to see how this all works out. It really brings a new meaning to window shopping. And like combat items, fashion items will also have quality ratings, sort of like how there's special outfits in the game now. It will be as follows. Standard equals a regular outfit, with no animations or anything. Trend is pretty much a special outfit, as in it has one animation. Edge is a special outfit that can hold multiple different animations and gestures. And Prestige, which works the same as Edge, but has different clothing designs that you can choose from. So if I have this correct, Edge and Prestige can use multiple special outfit animations, but also gestures can replace the animations. So you should probably start buying gesture cards now if that's what you're really into. Anyways, I just wanted to give you the main gist of the showcase. If there was anything incorrect, please do not hesitate to correct it by leaving a comment down below. And I'm also really curious to know what you all think, so please do not hesitate with your opinions. If you wanted to see the Mabo Eternity gameplay, I edited and uploaded a video which I will link below. I'm thinking of doing a video on it actually. Also, I have a tech guide that's done, but after the showcase, I need to change some stuff sadly, so be on the lookout for that. And since some of you asked, I have a Discord that you can join and chill or ask questions and all that shit. I'll link it down below. I'll see you guys in the next one.
어떠실까요?
Peace.
익숙하면서도 새로운 느낌이죠. 아마 많은 분들께서 아마 지금 방송으로 보고 계신 분들은 지금도 덤바튼에 계신 분들도 계실 거예요. 네. 차이가 좀 많이 느껴지실까요?